Foster House. I'm here. Sorry I didn't upload a video yesterday, but today, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be reading my story, The Hike. It's a murder mystery. As you can see, it's as short as The Killer Doll 3 and stuff. Oh, God. Okay, sorry. But, yeah. The Hike. There were 8 people in a Jeep. Fred said, "Who is ready for the hike?" Savannah said, "I am." Matt said, "Who isn't?" Sophie said, "Tim." Oh, by the way, this is not the ground. This is supposed to be like a stream of blood, just randomly. So, if you were wondering why he's floating, he's not. Okay. Tim, you remembered snacks, right? Tim said, "Yeah." Michelle, you remember the drinks? Okay, sorry about that. Michelle said, "Yes." Josh and Riley helped me remember. Josh and Riley said, "Yeah, we did." They stopped and Josh said, "Is this it?" Fred said, "Yep." Well, yeah, this is it. Sophie said, "So let's start this hike." All 8 of them started hiking. Braden, shh. All 8 of them started hiking. Braden, what are you doing? Matt said, "I'm glad we decided to hike here." Michelle said, "Yeah, me too." Braden, quit. Fred said, "We were planning." Okay. Fred said, "We were planning this hike for a week." Josh said, "That week paid off." Tim said, "I remember hiking here as a kid." Josh said, "Hey, there is one of those shed things a cop or security guard stays in." I didn't know what those were called, so I just said that. Riley said, "Oh yeah, there is, so if we need help, there is a cop." Fred said, "That's a good thing. You never know how many killers are out there." Yeah, this is a murder mystery, so... So let me know who you think the killer is, and don't cheat by going to the end. Yes. Savannah said, "Yeah, that is true." Josh said, "All right, it is nighttime, time to set up our tent." I forgot to put in quotation marks. They all set up their tent, and everyone except Josh went to sleep. Josh got outside of the tent to pee, like every single horror movie ever made. I'm just kidding. But he went out and he got stabbed in the gut. Kill count as 1 so far. In the morning, everyone found his dead body. Fred said, "Josh, no! You were my best friend." Matt said, "I thought I was your best friend." That's a clue to Matt. I'm not saying he's the killer, but that's a clue. Because I did the scream thing. It's like, oh, there's hints, but it might not be them, or it might be. Then Matt said, not to be mean, though. Sophie said, "Let's go get the cop." Fred said, "He doesn't arrive until night." Riley said, "Crap." Tim said, "Why don't they open sooner? People could need help." Matt said, "I heard barely anything bad happens here, so that's why the cop isn't here till night." Cop should still be there, though. But yeah. Michelle said, "That doesn't make sense, but okay." Savannah said, "Why would we do the hike if friend dies?" Matt said, "I'm never going hiking again." Tim said, "Me neither." Fred said, "Why?" That's another one of his clues, but I'm not saying it's him. Braden, why do you always get those out? Matt said, "Because of this." Michelle said, "I wonder if there are any other hikers." Fred said, "Probably not." Tim said, "There could be, Michelle." Sophie said, "I'm going to miss Josh." Matt said, "We all will." Riley said, "Matt is right about that." Fred gathered firewood and they made a campfire. Tim said, "This should keep us warm." Fred said, "Hopefully it will keep us warm." Matt said, "Well, time for bed." Michelle said, "I'll stay up." Matt said, "All right," and everybody except Michelle went to bed. The killer walked up and shoved Michelle's head into the fire, and she screamed and died. In the morning, everyone woke up. Fred said, "Why? Who is doing this?" Riley said, "Who would want to do this?" Everyone stayed at the tent while Matt looked for more firewood. Matt turned around and said, "Hello?" I thought I heard something. Then Matt got his throat slit. Sophie said, "Where is Matt?" Sophie got up to look for Matt, and she found his body in the river. She ran back to the tent and warned everybody. Everyone ran and split up accidentally. An accidental split up. Sophie said, "No! Crap, we split up on accident." Sophie screamed, "Help!" The cop heard her, and he grabbed a machete and walked up to her. The cop said, "Hi, I'm Officer Pete. What's the problem?" Sophie said, "3 of my friends are dead." Officer Pete said, "Follow me and we'll find the killer." Savannah said, "Where is everyone?" "Hello?" The killer came behind Savannah and stabbed her in the eye. Officer Pete found Matt's. Alright, sorry, the camera was kind of out of view, and sorry I had to keep pausing it. And I might have to pause it again in a minute. Alright, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to flip back one page real quick. Officer Pete found Matt's body. Tim said, "Hello? Riley? Fred?" Officer Pete said, "What is your name?" Sophie said, "My name is Sophie." The killer came up and stabbed Officer Pete in the heart. Sophie screamed and ran away. The killer dropped the knife and picked up the machete, and the killer followed Sophie. Riley ran into Fred and said, "Fred, you're alive." Fred said, "You are too, thank goodness." The killer threw the machete and it hit Sophie in the leg. Sophie said, "Why? Please, no!" The killer chopped Sophie's head off. Fred said, "We need to find the killer." Tim said, "Fred? Riley? I hear you guys." Riley said, "That was Tim. We have to find him." Riley said, "I'll wait here just in case he finds me." Crap. Okay, Riley said, "Okay, yeah, I'll wait here until he finds me." Fred said, "Alright," and he went to go find Tim. The killer stabbed Riley through the throat. Fred said, "Tim!" Tim said, "Fred, I hear you!" Fred started running and said, "I think we are getting closer to each other." Tim said, "I think we are too." Sorry. Tim began running faster to try and find Fred. Fred said, "Tim, hello?" Tim said, "I see you." Fred said, "Where are you, Tim?" Sorry, I've had to pause it so many times. Then Fred's knee got sliced and he fell over. The killer took his mask off and it was Tim. Fred said, "Why, Tim, why?" Tim said, "Why would I tell you? If you survive, you would tell the police." Fred got up and ran. Tim said, "You won't get very far with a cut knee." Fred fell, but he saw the knife. Fred picked up the knife and stood up. Fred said, "Time to end this madness." Tim said, "You picked up my old weapon." Fred said, "Yes, I did. Time to die." Tim ran up to Fred, but Fred stabbed Tim in the side of the neck. Tim said, "You're smart, Fred." And Tim died. Fred took a 10-minute walk back to the Jeep, and Fred got in and said, "I have to leave without my friends, even though one turned out to be a psychopath." Fred drove off and said, "I'm never going hiking again. Matt, Riley, Sophie, Josh, Savannah, and Michelle, they're all dead because of Tim. Why would Tim do that?" Fred continued driving and said, "I survived, but my friends didn't. Why? Why did this happen to me?" All of it is Tim's fault. The end. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that story, the hike. Please give this video a like. Please subscribe, it helps out by all of you, and check out some of my other videos.